I don't know that any of you know me. I've seen a few familiar faces, but that's why you see my picture in the paper, because I want people to recognize me, because you have seen me on the street and in the stores. I come to this area to retire and be near my grandchildren. And I was very disappointed in the accessibility for the elderly and the handicapped. I thought I'd step back a little bit in time, and I thought we need to updo this a little bit. I was such a nuisance of myself with the board for the coalition for the coalition for the disabled and the elderly, that they suggested that I go and run for Miss Wheelchair Tennessee. I always want to put them backwards. Miss Wheelchair Tennessee. And I thought, you're crazy. I'm not wanting to be a beauty pageant person. I want my door fixed. I want a ramp so I can get in the house. I want the sidewalk fixed so I don't get thrown from my wheelchair. I want some of the same things that some of the other people I find, since I'm out, would like to have too. I have shopped from the street because I couldn't get in the building. I knocked on the window, and as the clerk finally come to the door, and I said, I'd like to know how much that box is. Do you have it in my size? And how much is it? And I would be interested in buying it. If you do, should she come out with several? And I said, well, thank you. I will shop here more if you make this more accessible for me, because she had steps. I couldn't get in there. There was no entrance to the back door. So I said, after that, this shop owner started putting more of her wares out on the street. And I noticed when we have downtown things, she puts a trailer out there so that you can go in and try them on, and puts more things out. And I think just the little things help, you know, just any little thing. Well, I brought this paper up here. I want y'all to see. It's not notes because I'm speaking from the heart. This is just my little flyer for campaigning. And I have done many things in the past. I have been on the school board in Sterling, Illinois, where, of course, my first year on the school board, the teachers went out on the first strike they ever had. Ever. We had lawyers from Chicago. We were really, it was exciting and interesting. I learned a lot in that time. But there have been other things that I've done over the years, because I am 76 years old. I have done a lot of things. Actually, I shouldn't have told you that age because Miss Wheelchair Tennessee, the application had to change it because there was a top level of 60 and I was already 74. And I had to fill out 10 pages, and actually 14 altogether, for an application. I thought I was going off to college. It was, I mean, 100-word essays, and don't have them less, and keep them within so many minutes, because you're going to have to memorize them, because you're going to have to say them when you get up there. I was interviewed by 5 judges at the time. I did bring home, for Morristown, I brought home first runner-up in 2018. I got Miss Congeniality in 2019. I always want to say just 2000. 2019, I got first runner-up and People's Choice Award. I'm still in the running for the Nationals, but I'm sure that I'm not going there. But I made that decision long ago. I didn't want to go to Arkansas, and it's there this year. But anyway, I did run for office because I've made several comments, and I have, when the group got together to bring the buses to town, I went to a public meeting. There was about a half a dozen in attendance besides the people that had to be there. I was there. I said, they had the maps. I said, of a prospective routes. I said, you're not even close to my house. I can't go clear down to AJ Highway to get on the bus. So we discussed the alternative. Well, then when I called them on Monday, they hadn't had much of a response, either meeting. So I said, I can help you. If you let me, I will help you. They gave me maps. They gave me anything I asked for, mostly the surveys. I took them out to the community. I brought them back from the community for them to pick up at my house and for them to use in their meeting for the figures they needed to decide that the public bus transportation will come to Morristown. But I know that it won't be here till October of this year, but it's coming. And that's all I wanted, was for it to come. Now, this is something everybody will benefit from. The people that can't work because they don't have the transportation, regular transportation to hold up a steady job, can now go to work and count on a bus every half hour to be there to pick them up and take them maybe to stop and get groceries on their way home. And the bus will be out there the next morning. They're going to be 7 to 7. So I'm very proud of being able to do that work. I called. I was not allowed, without a $200 permit, to pass out flyers downtown. So I couldn't afford that. So I went to the stores. They didn't know the organization I was working for. I said, okay, well, they couldn't allow me to pass out flyers or just stand there and let somebody fill out paper. So I went and talked to people, and we got it done. So I know that I have been in the past very pushy with some things because they needed to be. But there are, I do listen. I do plan to make a time that people can reach me to talk to me. I know that right now I'm a little isolated, but I try to get out in the community. Most of the people downtown that see my posters said, oh, I know her. She comes downtown a lot. So I'd like to see more improvement in family activities for the community. I'd like to see some improvements. There's several things that need improvement, but I really don't want to go individually. One of my main things I'm interested is the handicap and the handicapped children. And that's why I've said, before I even had any idea that the mayor was paid, I thought this was a volunteer job. I'm sorry. I have worked with city council before, but I just always thought these were not paid jobs. So I said, I will give all of my wages without knowing how much it was. I still am not quite sure, but I still stick with that. I want to see the playground for disabled and handicapped children progress and be placed in this town. They built a big one in Chattanooga that the girls from the pageant helped get built, and I think it's beautiful. I've not been there. I see it on pictures on the computer, but I think we would do well at keeping people that move into the area, if we have places for their families to relax together and their handicapped members and elderly members to join in activities with them. So I don't know how long I've been. You didn't ring a bell, but I'm sure I won't have done it. I always do.